Thank you, Karen. Camperdown and Tivoli Gardens High, the top two teams from Group B of the Issa Manning Cup, have lost their places in the quarterfinal round after using ineligible players during their preliminary round games. Renata Brown tells us more.
The phrase, "what a difference a day makes," could not be true, as after celebrating quarterfinal qualification at the weekend, Camperdown and Tivoli Gardens are now contemplating next season. The reason? The use of ineligible players, according to Issa President Keith Wellington.
I don't want to be too specific because remember we're dealing with minors here. But the breach occurred because the students involved were not students of either school prior to September 1, 2021. And based on Issa rules, having enrolled in the school at the start of the school year and not as sixth formers, but rather students already over the age of 16 and enrolling in a lower grade, they needed to have sat out a year.
But head coach at Camperdown, Donovan Loftus, is arguing that his institution did nothing wrong.
It's just some misinterpretation of the rules, really. Students who left for academies and coming back to their original schools. In my case, is a student who stopped coming to school for maybe a year. During the pandemic, he went to MRC and he has re-registered with Camperdown.
According to Loftus, Issa could have a real challenge on their hands.
I sent out the registration, Issa cleared the player, and I was using the player. Got a valid ID from Issa, and let me tell you this, a lot of schools are doing the same thing, or did the same thing that I did. It looked like all of us coaches misinterpreted it, because there's known cases everywhere. MRC players came back to their original schools, and they all played Manning Cup.
But how big is this misinterpretation in the grand scheme of things?
Well, we have actually had other cases this year that we would have dealt with already. So they are not the only two instances for this year. As to whether or not it is widespread, I do not have the information to say so.
Wellington is adamant, however, that coaches are aware of the rules.
We actually had a coaches meeting, and for most of our commissions, we meet with the coaches prior to the start of the commission. In this case, we did so. We recorded the meeting, we shared the recording, and cases like these were actually specifically pointed out. I went back and listened to the recording this afternoon, and it was as if we knew exactly what was happening because we did make illustrations similar to what has transpired here.
Renata Brown for TVJ Sports.